I still hear my dad's voice like a plate shattering in a quiet room. You either pay $800 a month or get out of my house. He said it across the dinner table while my stepmom slid the rental agreement toward me. His house, not ours, not home. That word hit harder than the money. But none of them knew the house had never been his to claim. 30 days later, the sheriff showed up and everything changed. Dinner started normal. Roast chicken and green beans on the old oak table my grandfather hauled home decades ago. I sat in my usual chair. My stepmom sat perfectly straight. My dad looked tired. My two stepbrothers talked over each other. Halfway through, my stepmom cleared her throat. Tam, she said calmly, your father and I have been talking about household expenses. She slid the paper across. Rental agreement, $800 a month. Utilities extra. I set my fork down slowly. Since when is this a thing? You're an adult, she replied. Time to pull your weight. One stepbrother smirked. You're the only one with a real job. My dad stared at his plate. No objection. Dad, we didn't talk about this, I said. His fork clinked. You either pay or get out of my house. The table went silent. My stepmom looked satisfied. My stepbrothers watched me closely. I stood up slow and controlled. If that's how you see it, I said evenly. I hear you. I carried my plate to the sink and walked outside into the cool air. That night I couldn't sleep. Around 10:30 I went downstairs. My stepmom was at the counter. Couldn't sleep? She asked. Not really. Tomorrow's a new day. You'll feel better once everything's settled. Later my stepbrothers came in. One grinned. You signing that agreement? Not tonight. You've always been the backup kid. My dad stood in the doorway watching. He said nothing. That silence broke something in me. I went to the basement and found the Whitlock Family Trust. Beneficiary, me. The house valued at $3.2 million. My dad's signature from 4 years ago showed he had known the whole time. The next morning I learned my stepmom changed the HOA primary contact weeks earlier. When I got home, my key wouldn't turn. They'd changed the locks without telling me. I rang the bell. My stepmom opened on the chain. We updated the locks for safety. You didn't tell me. You should have told us you were heading out. I asked for a new key. Haven't made extras yet. I went to a lawyer. The trust was clear. The bank confirmed preliminary refinance inquiries. A few days later I found the garage door open. Inside on the concrete, grandma's antique desk, grandpa's leather chair, family photos boxed up like junk. My stepmom said, we needed space. The house needs to feel updated, meaning doesn't pay bills. My dad shrugged. It's just practical. Nothing's ruined. My stepbrother smirked. It's not that deep. I called my attorney. They moved my grandparents' things. They're still acting like I'm the problem. He said we could begin formal eviction. I authorized it. A few nights later, I placed a thick envelope in the center of the oak dinner table. My stepmom opened it during dinner. Her jaw tightened as she read the 30-day notice to vacate. My dad asked, what is it? One stepbrother laughed. This is a joke, right? It's not, I said calmly. I laid the trust documents down. The house is held for me. You signed it 4 years ago, Dad. My dad went pale. I didn't think it would come to this. My stepmom said, you're not thinking clearly. This is grief. You're not stable enough. The boys added, he's spiraling. Nobody sane does this to family. I stayed calm. Everything is documented. The locks, HOA change, refinance attempts. You had your chance to handle it privately. No one ate. They left the table one by one. 30 days later, the sheriff arrived. He reviewed the order professionally. My stepmom's eyes darted around the room. My dad looked smaller than ever. At the door, my dad said softly, I didn't think it would end this way. It didn't have to, I replied. My stepmom paused at the threshold. You'll find out being right isn't the same as being happy. Then they walked out carrying the last boxes. When the door closed, the house fell completely silent. No TV, no footsteps overhead, no voices testing the walls. I changed the lock myself. Then I mounted Grandpa's brass key on the wall in his study. I moved his leather chair back behind the desk and put the family photos back where they belonged. Sometimes family doesn't mean safety. It means you finally stop shrinking and lock the door on the people who tried to erase you.